Good morning, my dearest one. These films are in the public domain thus far. I haven't explained that there's a password and stuff, and I'm not sure if you can get on to YouTube or whatever. No, I can make them private, and you can log in and see them. But only 1 or 2 people watch, and there's nothing. I've got no secrets, really. I'd prefer them to be just between you and I. So our site, and I've called it Sasha Nechnaya. I've sort of latched onto your Sasha. Alexandra is a beautiful name too. Right, so I've sent you one already, The Wife of Noble Character. Well, I am an idealist, and I believe in myself. I ought to aspire to the highest ideals possible, aspire to them, whilst recognizing I won't achieve anything like perfection ever. But if I don't aspire to the perfection of Christ, then I won't even make a start. And then the big thing we haven't touched on at all yet, I see you wear a cross, so I'm assuming you have a Christian background at least. I've only become such a strong Christian later on now, because of, and this I wanted to talk about, my broken marriage with a child. That makes so much difference. So there I was in my early 30s. I'd had relationships before, but essentially lonely. But to marry for loneliness' sake, you see, that's what I want to touch on. It's not right. You ought to be able to stand on your own 2 feet in this world, not requiring the support, if you like, of another human being. Howsoever, 2 human beings beautifully becoming one and then bearing children, etc., etc., is a beautiful thing if it's when it works, and it does work. It's not an ideal. It's what one might think of as actually just a basic, normal human condition, really. How else does the human race go along? And why wouldn't one want loving parents to bring up their children in a proper way? I mean, it's just so obvious. It's blindingly obvious. This is Beethoven's Violin Concerto. I find solace in Beethoven, but music, many other pieces of music too, but ultimately I always just return to Beethoven. So, again, I've made it very clear, I am easily old enough to be your father. You say you're only 28. I don't incidentally know when your birthday is. Perhaps you could tell me that at some point. I'm September the 12th, Wednesday at 7:30 in the morning on Table Mountain in Cape Town, in a small hospital. My mother heard bells ringing, so she said. She's gone now, of course. Your mother's probably younger than me. I am actually 63 years old. Now, I'm not old. I've got a few good years ahead of me with any luck. But the reality is, when I'm getting into my older age, you will still be a very beautiful young woman. Possibly, by then, with our children. again, who won't know. All they'll know is this older man. So, in the way of, as one says, putting one's cards on the table, then you must know this about me. It's simply unfair to allow you to be involved with me if you aren't clear that you are potentially getting involved with a much older man. I mean, people will say, if they see us together, you know, is this your daughter? All right. Right, I think that's what I wanted to get off my chest. One shouldn't get into a relationship just for loneliness' sake. Yes, it's wonderful not to be alone. And I'm a very strong character, and I meet many people. I'm always out and about, and I know many people to speak to and meet and so on and so forth. But essentially, as with you, I come home and I'm alone with God, though. And I've come to accept that. Was not actively at all even thinking of looking for a woman in my life. I won't do it. If God means it to be, then it will be. That's a good note to end on. Catch you later. Cheerio.